What's up? How's everybody doing out there? This is the Cool Club. I am Super Solican, and I want to talk about something, a concept that's going on in it. Welcome to Derry that I hear a lot of people speaking on. In it, Welcome to Derry episode 2, we saw that the military, they're looking for something. They're looking for a weapon, what they consider to be a weapon. I'm using air quotes that will allow them to be able to harness fear and use it against other countries and to prevent the Cold War. They want to use this as a weapon. Now, the misconception that I hear people all over the internet talking about is that they're looking for Pennywise. That's not necessarily the case. The military, they're looking for something more tangible. So just then they explained there that there's beacons. The major was explaining, or the general was explaining to, uh, he was explaining that there's beacons all around. That's what Dick Halloran is looking for. You understand? So the beacons will lead them. The beacons are surrounding what they're looking for as the weapon. Do you think that he's talking about the beacons are surrounding Pennywise? Like, so that's going to lead them into the sewer? No, I don't think that that's the case. I mean, and if it does, it's not to lead them to Pennywise the Clown. They're not looking for him. They don't know he exists. You understand? That's not what they're trying to harness. Again, something more tangible, like maybe a piece of the comet that he came down on, the asteroid or whatever. They're looking for something that they could touch, is what I'm saying. When they brought up, you saw in episode 2 when they brought up the truck uh, that housed that gang that was supposedly got shot up, that Pennywise had a hand in shooting. That's something that Pennywise touched. So they're looking for something, like I said, maybe something that he's touched, that a part of his evil has rubbed off on. You understand? Again, they're not looking to try to capture Pennywise the clown and use him to, as to go against other armies. No, that's not. No. Like, so people, when they say that, it's like, you're saying that, but it's not necessarily true. Like, you're not really understanding the full concept. Like, the show is smarter. This show is a great show, and this is a trait of a good show and a intelligently written show, that this show is more intelligent than some of the people watching, the audience watching. It's ahead of the audience, and I commend them for that. It's not a bad. That's a great thing. But again, what they're looking for, that's what keeps you want to watch. But what they're looking for, like I said, may be a part of the asteroid he touched, or an artifact that he's rubbed off, that part of his essence has rubbed off on. You understand? We're gonna see that in the episodes to come. But like I said, when they pulled up the truck with the that was shot up with that gang that was shot by the townspeople, he ended up coming out to shoot him. It was an event caused by Pennywise, like a huge massacre there. That because Pennywise manipulated that event, touched it, and the truck was part of it. That's why it's an artifact or a beacon, that's surrounding that artifact, or that's leading them to it, because it was something that was touched by Pennywise, the clown. And we already know that Pennywise the clown, like, that's just a manifestation. Now, what they may be, more so looking for, maybe the deadlights. But I think it's more tangible than that. I think it's something that they can touch. They may not, but again, they may not know. They may encounter the deadlights and things like that. They may not know, or Pennywise, the manifestation, but they don't know that that's what's behind all of this. They just think the weapon is causing fear and inducing this. The weapon that they're looking for, which again may be something tangible, like a piece of the meteorite or something. You get what I'm saying? But in turn, with them doing that, Pennywise or the Deadlights may show up because, again, that is what's causing all of it, but they don't know that. So when people saying, "Oh, the military's looking for Pennywise, they want to weaponize Pennywise," no, that's not necessarily true. No, they don't. They don't know anything about Pennywise the Clown. They don't know nothing about that. So I just wanted to touch on that just a little bit and clarify that because I've been hearing so many people who react to the show and so many people who talk about it saying making that claim that that's what they're looking for, and that's like first of all, it's not true, and then it's reducing like the intelligence of the show. You know, if they were looking for Pennywise the Clown, that will make it, they'll make it kind of weird. And you hear some people saying like, "Oh, that's weird that the government is doing." That's because that's not what they're doing. They're looking for a weapon, what they believe to be a weapon that's manifested here. The beacons are around it. The beacons are the things that Pennywise have touched. You know, the next thing you may get may be a piece of the uh a piece of the ironworks or something like whatever he's touched over time. Circus. Well, if he's been in a circus, you may another beacon may be like that little circus that little circus car or whatever that he comes out of. Like it might be that might be the next beacon. That's because it's something that he's touched throughout time. You understand? They're not looking to capture the clown. So with that being said, this is the Cool Club. Hit that like and subscribe button. Check us out for more videos of anything cool. More, we're gonna do more reactions to it, and just more cool reactions, man. All right, peace.